And okay, now it's recording. Okay.
Okay. Why do you think these women made something different?
I think this moment made something different because they first they lived in an age when there was a lot of discrimination and racism in the case of I forgot the name. Okay, in this case of Matilde Hidalgo, in the age that they lived, she lived, in the women in that age was were so discriminated. They actually they didn't didn't were able to vote, and they just obey their husbands and stayed at home and take care of children. They didn't have the permission to study and make the things that they wanted to do. So I think Matilde Hidalgo did very well, very good things in that time and make the difference and put her name in the story of our country. And now talking about Parks, we all know that USA is a very racist country, and those days the racism was a lot. White people were against black people, and in the video they say that black people had yeah, had their places in which those places when where only they can be. They don't when they don't were able to be in the same place as a white person. So Rosa made a difference at the moment when she sit in the front of she sit in the front of the on the bus and refused to give her seat to a white person. So I think they did something different and they write their names in the story of their countries and in the world. So Alexandra, how do you think people felt during that time?
I think in those years, blacks in the United States suffered the humiliation, especially in the South, uh, of not being able to share with Waynes the same public places. For example, schools, restaurants, waiting rooms, and so on. The black person, it's a imitation in this country. For the people white, um, that is all, Daniel, for my opinion.
Okay, that's nice. And what do you think about the women in that time, in the time of Matilde Hidalgo?
I think about Matilde Hidalgo. Was a woman very strong because the law for the rights of the women and the person. This is the define of the rights. I respond the question.
Yes, you give your opinion about Matilda Hidalgo. Now, Giovanna, for you, do people in our country uh, respect voting and equality rights? What do you think about that?
I think yes and no. Why? Because yes, because in my country the right, for example, the right to vote is respect. Because since the Constitution of Ecuador, in the first article, I mentioned that Ecuador is a free and democratic country, and its rights are the most important things of for the people. Uh, and no, because as you can see, for example, in the news, when to the people is told, for example, the police arrest the people stolen, but uh, after 24 hours, this person are liberty. Why? O sea, I mean, it's in my case, it's not um, it's not uh, it's not good because uh, I suppose that all human rights must respect and realize according to the society. Is my opinion.
Okay, it's a good opinion actually, and I agree with you. Sometimes here in Ecuador we could be kind of racist and discriminate a lot of people, and there is a kind of machines here also, because I could see that a lot of women's are not all women's actually, nor are the men are like that, but it can see most in the in I think well in all the country there are some people that are against women, and they think that they are superior than they because they are just men and they are just women. So I think we need to improve that part of our country. Definitely, we need to improve that part. What do you think about that, Alexandra?
Well, I think about this. It's a very important the information about you because and the note the note the note the no respected the rights is it's important respect the rights because the all people all people have the rights of the vote in this country. It's important your opinion of the country.
Okay, that is. Now, well, we were talking about this part in part of this question when we talking about the racism and discrimination. But what do you think? Is Ecuador free from racial discrimination?
No.
Uh,
Uh,
okay. For me, no. I mean, in yes, in your majority, but in some regions, no. Because the Ecuadorian people must be regionalist, and in many cases, I saw that the mestiza people discriminate to indigenous people, or black, or I'm sorry, or white people discriminate indigenous people, and it's a sad topic because as a Ecuadorian, I think or I believe that we help to us. I don't know why exists racism when uh, talking about the history. Indigenous, for me, indigenous is the people for have a many histories than the mestizos or Spain people, for example. I think so. What about you, Alessandra?
I according with you because in Ecuador, in the middle of the 20th century, there is a still discrimination between mestizos, indigenous, and Afros. Either because of their way of speaking, of their skin color, also because of the costumes, the costume of the indigenous, for example, is from the weights, from the weights, and it is a discrimination for this costume. That is all about it. What about
Mm,
it, Daniel?
Well, I think yeah, there is discrimination in here in Ecuador, and we need to improve that part, as I said before. Now I want to talk about what can we do when we see people being discriminated in case. So I think we can stop. Okay, maybe we are if we are brave, we need to take brave. We need to be brave and go to the attack to the bad person and say stop because that is not a good way that is he's acting. So we need to improve all these injustices being against the people that are being discriminated. So that is all, girls. Thanks for your opinion. It was so interesting, and thanks for talking with me. That is all.
okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.